All right, we have a workout for you, quick, about 30 minutes. So it's just using your band, like we have hooked up here to the wall, and a mini band. So it's only band and body weight workout. So this one's for you. Make sure you're already warmed up. So a little dynamic warm up beforehand. If you're not sure what that is, let me know. I will send it your way. I have that on my YouTube channel, so you can look for that, or I'm happy to send it to you. All right, our first exercise is a band row. Now, I have a variety of bands here, so some are longer than others. These are regular length, and then we have our travel length. Know that the travel length are significantly tighter, so keep that in mind when you decide to buy your set of bands. I have all of them because I like variety, so if you can afford all of them, grab them all so you can do all kinds of exercises. So we have a band row, and I'm going to go ahead and take my travel band for this first one, and I'm going to be doing just a basic row with both arms at the same time. So it's just 30 seconds, so here we go. Let's begin. So we squeeze the shoulder blades. Every time we're squeezing the shoulder blades. Now I can go palms facing my body, just like they are now. That's going to get the largest portion of my back. Now, if I want to go more upper back, I'm going to go palms down and bring my hands a little bit higher. So know that that's going to be a little harder, so I might need to move in a little bit, or I might use a lighter band. All right, so we have 5 seconds left, and we rest. Our next exercise is an alternating crunch using the band. Now, this is maybe going to be a little bit harder, so I might choose to use same color band, but a little bit longer band, so it's not quite as much resistance. So we go alternating sides, like we're doing a crunch, side to side, working the obliques. All right, so it goes 30 seconds again, so we go side to side. Now, if for some reason using both handles was still too much, I could set one down and just grab the single handle and go side to side. Notice I'm keeping my back long. I'm not rounding my spine at all. So we go side to side. Heart rate going up. Core muscles working. Arms are working too, of course. And I'm keeping my spine long. Rest. All right, so the next one we have, we're using the mini band. So this is going to go above my knees. So I'm going to slide this guy on. And I'm doing a squat and a lateral lift. Of course, if I had dumbbells or something, I could add some weight to this if I wanted to. But I'm keeping some pressure on the band, coming down and lifting, coming down and lifting. So I'm going to do half the time on one side, and then I'm going to switch sides. Now my toe is pointed straight ahead or even slightly turned in. I could double pulse if I needed a little more challenge. Let's switch sides. So it's too easy, double pulse. Toes straight ahead. And again, maybe even turn inward just a little bit. Good work, and we have 5 seconds. And rest. So the next one is a mini band jumping jack. I can leave the band exactly where it is. If it goes lower, it's harder. So I'm going to start off lower. And if I need a little less, I'll just move it up. All right, so we go jumping jacks. Of course, my feet are going to go as far as they would normally go out because my legs are kind of tied together with the band. So I'm working those same muscles on the outside of my legs. My arms start to get tired, I can just leave the arms out. Or if my shoulders don't like it. And again, if I need a little less, I just move it up. Heart rate going up, hips working. 5 seconds. Rest. All right. We're going to take that guy back off, and we're going to go back to our band over here. We're going to do some flies. So, just like you would do with dumbbells, palms come together in front of your chest, like a butterfly flapping its wings. So I might just take a basic lunge stride here, lean slightly forward, and bring my arms together like this. So go ahead and join me if you haven't already. Controlled motion. I could start lunging into this if I wanted to have it be a little bit more dynamic. Dynamic meaning with movement. Still controlling the arm movement though. It's easy to let the arms fly back, especially as I start adding this dynamic lunge. Five seconds. And rest. So the next one, it's same muscles working just in a little different way. So I might need a little less resistance because I'm kind of pretty fatigued from doing that particular exercise. So this is alternating punches or like an alternating chest press. So we're gonna go here like this, punch it out. So this is pretty quick. And maybe about halfway through, I would switch. Now you may not need to switch your band. You might just move a little backwards if you need a little less resistance. So you control how much resistance based on how far away you are from your anchor. Rest. Okay. So the next one is band circles. So we did some core work earlier. It was, like I said, the dynamic is with movement, momentum. This is a very slow, controlled core exercise. So you'll turn sideways to your anchor and start to make circles. So we can make circles like on the face of a clock. So that kind of circle, clockwise and counterclockwise. And of course, we could go the opposite direction. Now we could also do circles like stirring a pot of chili or soup or something. And it can go out and around or closer to your body, out and around. And the rest of my body is staying super still. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So again, maybe circles like on the face of a clock. Now maybe one or the other of these doesn't work for you. Let's say your back doesn't like this direction. But if you go the other direction, your core is working and your back is fine. That's great. Just listen to your body. And again, maybe like stirring a pot of soup. And the other direction, of course. And we rest. All right. So the next one is you're going to use a little bit lighter resistance band, or again, maybe don't go out as far. Triceps. So we have two ways we can do triceps, and I'll show you both. One is to do a tricep kickback. So I'm just ever so slightly hinged forward, but keeping my back super long. And I press back, my elbows tight into my sides. I could go palms down, I could go palms up. Now the other way you can do triceps is to turn away from your anchor and then press more up towards the ceiling. So go ahead and join me, and maybe you'll do some of one and then switch it up and do some of the other. Core is tight. Notice I'm leaning just a little bit forward here, but my back is long. I'm in no way rounding my spine. I'm going to turn around and show you the other one again real quick. We have about 5 seconds left. Elbows tight. Pause in the extension part of that exercise. And rest. All right. So the next one we have is a deadlift. So this can be done on 1 foot or 2 feet. And if you're doing, especially if you're doing with 2 feet, I recommend a little bit stronger band. if you have one. And so what you want to do here is get enough resistance on there that you don't have any slack. And then as you hinge forward, the arms reach forward. My back is very long. And then I stand up. What we don't want is a rounded spine in any way, shape, or form. Now this could also be done on one leg. So I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate both. Go ahead and join me. So you're hinging forward with both feet on the ground. Hamstrings and glutes working here. Hamstrings and glutes. My arms reach out. And again, I could do this on one leg. Requires a little bit more balance, of course. And my spine stays long. And of course, I switch legs. Partway through, halfway through. Back of my leg working. Hips working. Ankle and feet working too. All right, good. So that was our full set. Let's turn on my fan here, get a little air going. So we have another 2 rounds just like that. So grab a sip of water if you need it, and then we are back to our row. Now, if I wanted to add a squat to this, I could. And I could also alternate arms if I wanted to mix it up a little bit. So remember, our row looks like this. I could add that squat. Go ahead and join me. I'm going to add a squat. So I squat when I'm reaching forward, and then pull when I'm up. And again, I could add some alternating of my arms here if I wanted to mix it up a little. And remember, the arm up and palm down, it's more of the upper back. Good work. Maybe I do some more together. And I can always double pulse if I'm not getting enough resistance. Go ahead and rest. All right, so we have that alternating side crunch again. And again, maybe I could use the stronger one, or maybe I switch to same level but longer. Gives me a little more space to move also. All right, so we have 30 seconds, alternating sides. Here we go. So I'm crunching with a nice long spine. Remember, you could always just use a single handle. Rest. Okay, so we're back to our mini band squat with a lateral leg lift. So we're going to put the band back on. Now, if the squat part doesn't work, your knees don't like it, just do the lateral lift, no problem. All right, here, it goes up here. Here we go. We hit squat and lift. Notice my knees are pressing out against that band when I'm squatting. My knees don't fall together. Maybe I double pulse. My toes are pointed straight ahead or even inward on this lifting leg. Let's switch sides. Other side. And again, if you're not doing the squat, you just do the lift. Maybe I hold on to something. Not a problem. Rest. And again, maybe I'll move it down now for a little more resistance for these jumping jacks that I can do with my arms, or maybe my arms don't like it and I leave it out. Idea is to get the heart rate up. That's the goal. So whatever that takes for you. Here we go. My knees stay bent. And of course, if your knees don't like jumping, you just tap. You can even add the arms. You could even go back to more of a side-to-side lift if you wanted. So many options. Idea is to get the heart rate up, work the legs a little bit, work the hips a little bit. If you're doing that, you're good. Rest. All right, let's take that off. And we are back to our fly. So that's back with the band again. So we can, once again, I'm going to use my shorter, more challenging band for this one. And again, we can just take a lunge stride, hinge a little forward, and do a nice slow controlled fly. Or I can lunge into it. I'm going to really pay attention and make sure my arms don't fling back. This just, adding that lunge, just gets the heart rate up more. So I'm working my whole body rather than just my arms. But if I don't need my heart rate to be elevated, maybe I'm actually trying to bring it back down. I would just slow it down and do a controlled motion. Now again, technically, these punches are alternating chest press, kind of the same muscle. So I will use a little more or a little less weight for the punches. So I don't hurt myself. Here we go. Punch it out. Now, if I was just doing the punches by themselves, I might not need to do less weight or less resistance. But because I'm doing two exercises back to back that really kind of work the same muscles or in and around them, then I'm probably going to use a little less weight. Okay, we're almost there. 5 seconds. Rest. All right, so we're back to those circles. So you can use the longer or the shorter for these. We'll just decide what works for you. Core is tight, so I'm going to keep the rest of my body super still. I'm going to start with the starting with hot sort of circle this time. Now the circles can be very small. It actually can be much more isolated sometimes when the circles are small. If I go really big, a lot of other things can get involved. So I'm going to go like the face of a clock now, circles. As long as I'm feeling it right here, we're happy. Not a lot in the back. We don't want to strain in the back. It's not intended to be much back here. Some a little bit. All right, let's go other side. And again, sometimes really small movement is what I need to really feel it where I want to feel it. Okay, and rest. Okie doke, so we are on to our triceps again. And so I'll just demo here with the longer band. So you know that it will look a little different with the longer band. I'll be a little farther away from my anchor if I'm using a longer band. All right, here we go. So maybe hinge forward and do a tricep kick back. Palms can be down. Keep your wrists very, very flat. Try not to start pressing the wrist like this. Palms can be up. Same thing. Careful you don't curl in the wrist. And remember, you have that option to take arms overhead. Leaning just slightly forward. And I've got one foot a little forward. So I'm definitely not going to get pulled backwards. All right, so we are back to that deadlift. I'm just going to, for fun, keep this a longer band again so you can kind of see what it would look like with this longer band. And again, I'm either hinging forward with both feet on the floor, or I'm doing a deadlift. And being careful I don't get pulled over, which I just did. So that can happen to you too. I find this to be harder than the deadlift with dumbbells because of this rubber band sort of pulling. So don't be surprised if you have a harder time with this. Switch legs if you haven't already. If you're doing both legs, keep going. Core tight. Keep your eyes up. I'm actually looking at the anchor there. That's where I'm keeping my focus. And of course, you could also just leave a tippy toe on the ground to assist you. Rest. All right, my friends, grab some water. I'm going to do the same. My water's over here by you guys. All right. We're going to go through all of those one more time. Okay, it's your last time. So if you're holding back, now's the time to give it your 100%. All right, I'm going to go back to this shorter, a little bit thicker band. So it's a level 4 band. Some of you could probably use a level 6. Some of you will use a level 2. If you're not sure what I mean, reach out. I will let you know what I'm talking about. This is a row. Again, maybe you add that squat. I'm going to, just because I like to. All right, 30 seconds. And go. Quick movement maybe, but always in control. So I'm not going to go any faster than I can keep great control. Maybe I alternate, driving my elbow back. Maybe I go palms up. You notice I'm doing a little bit of a rotation. You don't have to if your back doesn't like that. So really listen to your back. Keep going. And rest. Awesome. Okay. Alternating crunches again. I really like to use this longer band. For me, it just gives me more range of motion. For you, you might keep the same shorter band. Maybe use one handle, maybe you use 2. All right, let's go. I'm just going slightly to the outside of my calves, and I'm crunching and crunching. Long spine. I am not rounding my back. I'm keeping my core drawn in tight. And again, just remember, if 2 is too much, just drop one. And just use single. And the rest. Excellent. Okay, so we're back to our mini band squat and lateral lift. So, once again, put this guy either right below the knees or right above the knees. And we're squatting and doing that side lift. Toes straight ahead. Again, you can always add a little resistance. You could hold on to a dumbbell, kettlebell, or ball, or something. All right, here we go. I'm going to double pulse it again and take it out. I'm going to tall in my spine. Remember, if it's too much to do the squat, just do the lift. Let's switch sides. Resting my knees out against that band. Hips working, legs working. Heart rate's going up a little bit. And then when I transition, which is now onto the jumping jack, similar muscles working. So be aware of that. So don't be surprised if it's hard. I might leave this right where it is, or I might move it down for more of a challenge. All right, here we go. And again, maybe you're tapping out, or maybe you just go to something more like this. You need more, move it down. Use the arms. Arms and legs together will get the heart rate up more. Just the legs, heart rate will go up, but not as much. So you make your choice. Make a good one. Make a good choice. Rest. All right, let's take that off. Okay, one more time. Band fly. So, again, I'm going to use my heavier resistance here. If I needed more, that's the shorter one, I could double pulse these. So I'll show you what that looks like. So let's say I just take this stationary version and I pulse, 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 pulse. Sort of in the middle of the movement. And remember, I could also continue to make this dynamic and lunge. I could even do a double pulse with the lunge. It's a choice that I might make, especially because it's my last time doing these. I want to give it 100%. As long as my shoulders like it, as long as my knees like it, You do it. Rest. All right, because this is my last time, I'm going to keep this heavier resistance. Maybe you will too. All right, so let's go. Punch it out. Punch, punch, punch. Alternating arms. Still keeping good form. Now, if I got tired on one side, I might do a few punches on one. And again, partway through, I probably switch my legs. Maybe I do a one-arm punch on the other side. Oh, boy. I can even do something like this. So really, you know, whatever I'm showing you, you probably can come up with 10 more things on your own. Rest. As long as your body doesn't react negatively, so you don't end up having pain or pinching, it's probably fine. All right, so the next exercise, circles again. Keep the shorter band this time. And again, circles like a clock, circles like you're stirring a pot. Let's go. The rest of my body stays very still as I move. And again, pot of soup. Maybe it's small. Maybe it go both directions. And it's not wrong to go bigger. Just pay attention and make sure it's not coming into your neck or your lower back. All right, let's turn it around. So as long as you're keeping it in the core region, we're happy. Five more seconds. Rest. Okie doke. So we have triceps. And I'm going to go back just to the shorter, little less resistance, just because, mix it up. You can always move back to make it a little harder. And the reason I'm going to do that is I'm going to show you a double pulse this time. It's something you could do if it's not enough resistance for you. So I could go here, press, press, bend. I'm a little hinged forward. I could take both feet together, or I could take a little bit of a lunge stride. Looks like I go pulling up on these as well. Wrists flat. Now, if it's too much, remember you could alternate your arms. And remember, you have the option to do over the head. I could double pulse these. Same concept. Can make it a little bit harder. And I could alternate these as well. I'm keeping my elbows in tight. Okay, rest. All right, guys, last time with this deadlift. And remember, these deadlifts, one leg or two, I'm going to use the shorter resistance band again, just to give myself a little more of a challenge. Not that I need it, I kept falling over last time, but we'll see how it goes. Here we go, begin. So again, maybe both feet on the ground. Maybe I just put a tippy toe down for a little assist. And I'm mostly working my left leg right now. Keep going. Reaching forward. My eyes are on the anchor. I'm not looking down. And then maybe halfway through, which is then we could switch. If we're doing both or one leg on the floor. And again, foot could be off, or I could leave a tippy toe. Sometimes that tippy toe just helps out just enough that we don't get pulled over. Just enough help. All right, guys. That is it. Awesome work. If you have any questions, please let me know.